Welcome back to Shakespeare in the Bush. I hope by this time you have gone through the story of Hamlet and also the story that is being narrated by Laura. And let's return back to Shakespeare in the Bush. That is the lesson that we have to study. You have already seen the story of Hamlet as seen by act and the names of characters. I hope you still remember that because you get the reference to these names in this lesson. Okay, I'll remind you of that. So let's return to Shakespeare in the Bush. So when the rain started, people began to drink at dawn. Early in the morning, they started drinking. When it rained, they had to sit inside their huts. They can't go outside. That kind of torrential rain they have. So they drank and sang and then told stories, amusing themselves and amusing the group of people who are there in the hut. Laura was also offered beer which she refused, and spent more time with the copy of Hamlet, which her friend had given to her earlier. I hope you still remember the instance when she was in England. She was about to leave for Africa, and the friend told her they had a difference of opinion, and she was presented with Hamlet because she's going to spend 3 months there, and she'll be isolated, and she'll have enough time to think of Hamlet. After nearly 2 months, grace descended on her. 2 months she was confined to her hut, and so she spent the time reading Hamlet, reading Hamlet, trying to get more than one opinion of the story. There is only one possible interpretation, and that one universally obvious. That is, the obvious one is the only interpretation that you can give to Hamlet. So there is no question about that. Even though her friend said that you are just mistaking this for something else, and naturally she decided to differ from that opinion, saying that there is that universality, and it is that which appeals to the people, and there is no other question about it. So, in a way, she was adamant about her views, and reading it for 2 months, she again confined to the hut and started reading it, and those readings confirmed her opinion of the idea that the universally obvious meaning or interpretation is there for Hamlet. There couldn't be any other interpretation for Shakespeare's Hamlet. So after some time, she got bored, or even she said she thought that she will be able to talk to the old man because they are all sitting in the hut and they have nothing else to do. So she thought she would call on the old man in the hope of having some serious talk. But each time she went to talk to the old man, the beer party continued. The women will make the beer, and it will be distributed among them, and they started drinking, and not just men, ladies, children, old men, young men, and everyone joined. And even Laura was also offered beer, and that too in a calabash. Calabash is a dried goat, or the shell of a goat, and this is what they used instead of a glass. And she was also given beer in a calabash, and after taking a drink, she passed it on to the other person, which is the manners of the group. The old man approved the fact that she joined them after continuously refusing the offer of the beer and making merry in the hut. Now finally she joined them, and the old man really approved of that fact. When you are not with us, you sit inside your hut looking at a paper. So when she joined the group, the old man remarked, when you are not with us, you sit inside your hut looking at a paper. So a book is just a paper to them. So Laura did not refute that statement because she knew that these people have their own way of giving names to the things that they see. So the old man was acquainted with four kinds of papers. I put the papers in inverted commas as it is in the book because paper is something unusual in that area. Nobody used papers, and it is a commodity which is very rare. So he is familiar with four kinds of papers. One is tax receipt. Second is bride price receipt. Okay, not dowry, but bride price paid by the man. Okay. The third is court fee receipt, and the fourth, letters. These are the four types of papers the old man is familiar with. Other than that, they have no idea what these papers are. A book, that's a surprise. And the book is such a rare thing. And stories written on paper, just unbelievable. You tell a story and the others listen to it. Other than that, there is no writing the story for them. A few men brought Laura bride price receipts too, privately, just to change the amount that is given there. And Laura told them that it is just not possible and you can't change that, you can't deceive other people like that. So many things like that usually happen there. Laura explained that her paper was one of the things of long ago. Things of long ago is the term that she uses in their language because they will not understand book and paper they can understand, but a paper on which things of long ago written in her country is indeed a book, but the term book is not there in their vocabulary. So she had to explain it as things of long ago in her country. They were curious and eager for a story. So she started her story, which the people were really eager to listen to. So she is now going to tell us the story of Hamlet, and to the group also to tell the story of Hamlet. And how she is going to tell that story is that which we have to notice, because the words like book and prince and king, it is not there in their vocabulary. So those terms had to be modified or even supplemented with the terms that are there in their language, and she struggles with the storytelling. So, in their country, the art of storytelling is a skill among them, and their standards are high. People can act and tell a story effectively, and some people are real experts in storytelling. The audience, of course, often critical and vocal in their interruptions and opinions, and as per the opinion, story change. The old man assured her that no one will criticize her style of storytelling because she is new to this tribe, and the reason is that no one is going to criticize your style of storytelling because we know you are struggling with our language. She is a Western, coming from the Western civilized world, and she had learned the language of this tribe for her research purposes. And as such, she is still a beginner. She is struggling with their language. And so sometimes you may not get proper words to continue with your story. And so we will not criticize your style of storytelling, the old man told her. But she must explain what they do not understand like they do when they tell her their stories. So, when they tell her stories, sometimes she just do not understand certain terms they use. So, they will patiently explain to her what it means. So, likewise, when she tells a story, she must also explain the terms that they do not understand, like they explain when they tell her their stories. It's only natural. That is, if you are not familiar with the language, and if you come across certain words, you will have to explain those terms. On that, she agreed. Criticism, she just can't, because she knows that she will lose the thread of storytelling, and moreover, she is also trying to prove the fact that the story of Hamlet will be accepted anywhere in the world. There is no going to be no difference about the story. It is a universally accepted theme, and that's why it is such a great tragedy of Shakespeare, and it is celebrated as such. And even then, her friend in England told her, "Don't believe that. There could be several versions of Hamlet," and Laura just did not agree with him on that. So she was also trying to prove that Hamlet is universally intelligible. Laura agreed to tell a story, and she is trying to tell them the story of Hamlet. And we have already seen what the story is like. We have the in the first scene there is the three men, and they are just guarding the battlements when the ghost of the king of Denmark, former king of Denmark, that is Hamlet's father, appears before them. And when they ask him to speak, he refused to speak and just disappeared. So this is something, the ghost. We may not believe in ghosts, but in a drama, ghost is a dramatic, increasing the dramaticality, and we really enjoy that. It can just be possible. That is one opinion. So then Horatio is there. Horatio is Hamlet's friend, and he was also his schoolmate. And that, as such, it is indeed possible that Horatio has known the king much better. So even then, when he asked the ghost about as to why he has appeared, he did not tell him the story. So they reported it to Hamlet. That also we have seen. Hamlet's father's younger brother married Hamlet's mother within no time at all, and Hamlet was so angry, and he was pained by that because mother was not loyal to the father. That's what really saddened him, and that is the real essence of the story. Just from there, the whole theme of revenge and killing the uncle takes place, and whole plans go awry, and all this happens. The tragedy happens as a result of this theme of Hamlet not agreeing with the mother marrying his uncle. So, in a way, uh, Laura had the perfect understanding or perfect faith that Hamlet will be accepted by this group of people because it is universally intelligible. People really understand Hamlet. There is no difference about not understanding the story of Hamlet because it is quite natural. This is something that can happen anywhere, anytime, at any point. So there is no change, or there is to be no alteration for the story of Hamlet. And she was also trying to prove her theory with this particular group of tribal people. And the old man gave her all the assurance that they are not going to criticize her or even her style of storytelling, because this group of people, even though they may not have much reading and writing skill, they are very good storytellers, and the art of storytelling, orators or oral literature, was flourishing in that place. And so, naturally, the art of storytelling is a skill among them. They have been telling the story for 3 months continuous every year, and so they have become expert in storytelling, and their standards are very high. There will be vocal. They are very vocal, means they express what they feel about the story or the characters, and naturally ask an explanation. And sometimes they are extremely critical of the storyteller and the way the narration is taking place. But this time, the old man assured her that no one will criticize her style of storytelling because she is now struggling with their language. She had painstakingly taken time to study their language and had almost mastered it, but even then, she is not that much of an expert with the language. So she can continue, she can tell the story in her own way, but she must also explain what they do not understand, like they explain things which she just do not understand about their life or even their narration. On She just agreed to this kind of understanding, and so she started telling the story of Hamlet to this group of people in Africa, where there is this remote village, people who are very far from civilization, and they have no schools or no writing, and they belong to a particular group, and their number is very few, and they are familiar with only four types of papers, and those four types just do not come under a book. Okay, there is no book there. So paper is something that they do not understand. To them, the pages of the book, they are just papers. And this is the type of people to whom Laura is going to tell the story of Hamlet. Moreover, their customs are totally different from the customs that the civilized world follows. The civilized world and their rules just do not belong to them, and it is not acceptable to them. They have not heard of it because they go by the tribal rule and the tribal way of life, and what they have, their customs are theirs. And maybe the outside world will criticize them for what they are doing and say that they are savages. They don't mind because it is their civilization, and you can't interfere with that, because if they are going to interfere with the Western civilization, what will be our condition? That will be totally different. And so you will find such a critical view of the Western civilization from the opinion of the listeners of this group when Laura starts telling a story. So this is where you find the center point of the story, and also about Shakespearean story Hamlet, and what the critic had told Laura about various versions or various interpretations for Hamlet is possible. And Laura said, no, there is no possibility. There can be only one interpretation, and this is the universally accepted interpretation, and things like that. It is okay for them, for her, because they, even though he agreed to differ, you find that naturally, when she has an experience with this remote area, tribal people of this remote area, she is facing a problem, and that problem is unraveled before you in the following classes. Okay, listen to these classes and also read your book. You will perfectly understand. And I found that some of you have questions about the type of questions you will get for examination. Dear students, do not worry about the examination now. Enjoy the story, enjoy the lessons, absorb knowledge. You are trained to answer the questions even without your knowing it. Okay, so don't worry about the type of questions you will be facing. Don't We'll be giving you model questions and model question paper, and you will also find that there is a change in pattern from the one that is given at the back of your textbook. So the new pattern will be given to you after some time, and you need not worry about those patterns or even the questions. You are being trained to write answers or even to have answers as per the question paper. Okay, and I hope you'll have a good time. Have a good day. Thank you.